Greetings. Today's Ask Antoine features a question from Jeremiah. Here's the question. After Cain killed Abel, he went to another land which also had people. But I thought that Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel were the only people around at that time. So yeah, that's my question. Where did all the other people come from? Thanks, Jeremiah, for asking a really good question. I believe a lot of people have this question but may be too scared to ask it for themselves. So thanks for the opportunity to share my views on the answer. Let's start out with the facts that we do know. Adam and Eve were clearly the first people to be created. After they had left the Garden of Eden, we pick up the story in the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 1 through 3. Here it reads, Now Adam had sexual relations with his wife Eve, and she became pregnant. When she gave birth to Cain, she said, With the Lord's help I have produced a man. Later she gave birth to his brother and named him Abel. When they grew up, Abel became a shepherd, while Cain cultivated the ground. So again, here's what we know. Adam and Eve leave the Garden of Eden and give birth to a son named Cain. Now, the Bible never tells us how much time went by after they had left Eden from when they gave birth to Cain, okay? A lot of years could have gone by. And similarly, the Bible doesn't say that Abel was even the next son to come after Cain. It just says that later, Eve gave birth to a son, another son named Abel. And if you look really, really closely, down to chapter 5, verse 3, you can see where the Bible begins this new genealogy and says where Seth was the firstborn of Adam. It says that Adam was 130 years old when he gave birth, when Seth was born. And so we tend to try to put all these things together and make a clear story, 1, 2, 3, but that's not how it happened. In 130 years, a lot of stuff can get done. Remember, God told Adam and Eve to be fruitful and multiply. In 130 years, that's a lot of time to multiply and get busy, if you know what I mean. Then the Lord God said, Look, the human beings, plural, have become like us, knowing both good and evil. What if they reach out, take fruit from the tree of life and eat it? Then they will live forever. So the Lord banished them from the Garden of Eden, and he sent Adam out to cultivate the ground from which he had made. After sending them out, the Lord stationed mighty cherubim to the east of the Garden of Eden, and he placed a flaming sword that flashed back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. Here we see God banished human beings, plural, from the Garden of Eden. Now, that can easily mean just Adam and Eve, or it could quite possibly mean Adam and Eve and a whole bunch of other human beings. The fact that beings is plural means that it's more than just one. Now, it could be 2, but it could be 20, it could be 200. Who knows? We don't know. We just know that when Cain left the Garden of Eden, or nearby the Garden of Eden where Adam had settled down, he went and he encountered other peoples. So we have to assume that at some point before Cain left, and some point after Adam and Eve left the Garden of Eden, something was going on in the middle where Adam and Eve were creating children, because the Bible never tells us that God created more kids. The Bible never tells us that spaceships landed and dropped people either. So we have to assume that the same way that Cain and Abel were born, other children were born as well, and had gone elsewhere and settled down. I hope that answers your question. If not, feel free to ask another question on the bottom of this video, and I'll try to make it a little more clear for you. Thanks for choosing Ask Antoine as a resource for your spiritual edification. If you like what you see here on Kingdom TV, comment, rate, subscribe, tag, forward to a friend. Jesus is coming soon, so remember, keep your eyes on the kingdom. God bless.